The Triple B Podcast would like to invite you to come break bread with your brothers. If you like what you're hearing on the show, if you think we missed the mark, or if we got it all wrong, reach out to us on social media. We can be reached on Twitter at triple_B_pod or search Brothers Breaking Bread Podcast. We are the Brothers Breaking Bread on Facebook, and our email is brothersbreakingbreadpod@gmail.com. Further descriptions are in the show notes. Like, follow, friend, do all that good stuff, and please never forget to break bread with your brothers.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread Podcast in the house. Hey.
We're having a little potluck. It'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it.
This is a beautiful thing, man. It's all this blackness, and we all just getting together, we playing dominoes, we eating, we drinking.
And, food is always just the extra, man.
They deprive these people of their basic human rights, and we call ourselves Americans. We're supposed to be above all this.
They'll fake the crisis. They'll make it seem way out of proportion.
We brothers, we breaking bread.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Trying to hold it all together, man. Life is moving fast right now, man. So it's good to have everybody come through.
I love that, man. I love it a lot. More than I could say to you guys.
I'm really proud of y'all. Montgomery Raw. Not one but them all. Montgomery Raw. Shout out bro that can swim. Montgomery Raw. Shit, really all of them. Montgomery Raw. Shout out Unk with the chair. Montgomery Raw. Everybody that was there. Montgomery Raw. Threw the hat off at the start. Montgomery Raw. Man, shout out to the guard. Montgomery Raw.
Welcome to what may very well be the final episode of Brothers Breaking Bread. Sad to say, folks, I think people just kind of got some different priorities and all good things come to an end. You know what I'm saying? The only certainty in life is that things are going to come to an end. So we wanted some closure. We were accustomed at this time of year coming together and talking about the, some of the highlights of our year. And so we had also missed checking in with each other and wanted to do so. So we got part of the crew here. You know what I'm saying? So we got Kim, a.k.a. Honey Buns, here running the boards for us. And then we got the Lady of Lavender, Ada, here. Also joining us from St. Louis. I don't know, are you St. Louis or are you elsewhere today?
I'm in St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay. So, we kept our chat group and we've been in touch with each other and keeping up abreast with what everybody's doing. But we don't get to hear each other's voices often as we used to. So we just want to kind of, check in. We actually did some check-ins about a month ago where we just did a voice message thanks to Ada's great idea. And if we have, some people who don't show up, we do have at least one member who I think is busy with a work issue on a holiday, on New Year's Day. I don't understand it, but if he is able to come in, we'll maybe give him a chance to check in. Otherwise, I do think we have an audio check-in from him I can plug in later. So that's what we're doing. Ladies, what's going on?
Who first?
I mean, I'm just in general. What's going on? How y'all doing?
Chilling in general, yes.
So since you spoke up first, I guess you could go first.
All right, it is January 1st when we're recording this, so I had a good New Year's Eve yesterday. Got to spend time with some good people and met some new people and just had some good conversations, which is always good. Which I think is really kind of just where I am in life right now. I feel like the whole last 2/3 of my year was just conversations with people, learning new things, doing new things. I think in the this year I was like just getting back to living, I think, in a lot of ways. So this was my year of concerts, and I think that 2024 is about to be my next year of concerts. So I saw a gang of people. I saw Janet, Jill, and all these people can go by one name, almost all of them. So Janet, Jill, Beyonce, Usher, Ludacris, Janelle Monáe. She's still two names. I feel like I saw somebody else. Mos Def, Yasunde, sorry. Did I say Erica?
Nope.
So I saw her. So I saw Erykah Badu, and I'm about to go see J. Cole and Drake when they're here.
Oh, they touring together?
What'd you say?
They're touring together?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
February 12th and 13th, they'll be in St. Louis.
That's crazy.
I'm about to also maybe see Kem. Just trying to do all these things. Trying to do a lot and just like enjoying life, which is really good. And just I'm working as an instructional designer now, like full time. Still doing school stuff full time as well, kind of sorta. So that's been interesting. So basically, this is my first winter break. I didn't actually get a winter break. I was literally working every day, full time, every day, except for the 26th. I think I had the 26th off. So that's different, but also I still like the work I'm doing. I'm excited to go back to the school tomorrow and work with teachers, and then the next day start working with kids again. So that's cool. Family's all good. Yeah, family is all good, which is really great. And I got to see them more this year than I have any other year in my life, which was, well, since we all lived together, I guess I should say. So that was cool, seeing all the kids and the siblings, and got to see both my parents this year. Year ends with only one parent alive, but it was still great that I was able to see everybody this year and bury my dad, which was, I think, very peaceful, more so than I thought it was going to be. So that was really good. I got to go to Nigeria for Thanksgiving and bury him there and see family, see my grandmother. She just turned 96 on Christmas, so it was nice that I finally got to see her. I hadn't seen her since before the pandemic, so that was cool. I'm glad she was still alive for me to see her.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so all good stuff. My mom is doing great. She is still in Nigeria, going to be there for a long time. I think 3 months total from when she went there, which is good because that's where she grew up, and she hasn't been back for this extended amount of time, like since she moved, honestly. Well, not without the kids, not without us when we were kids. So it's just cool seeing her doing good things. And while she's gone, all of her kids are working to renovate her house a little bit and get it nice now that she's a widow there, and we want to get her some of the stuff that she's been putting off doing for a really long time, and get her bedroom to be less hospice-like and more like a bedroom again, which will be good for her when she gets back. So we're hoping it's done before she gets back is the plan. So we started picking out some stuff today and gonna get the paint going and the floor redone and all this stuff. So that's exciting stuff on my end, and excited for a new calendar year, even though I feel like time is linear, but it still feels like we're starting over new shit. So excited for that, and focusing on presence is my theme for the year. Presence and intimacy and openness are my themes, and really pushing for openness in everything I'm doing, whether that's with work or with friends or with family, and just really hoping that everybody else is open and honest with people in their lives, so that the people in their lives are able to know them and make decisions based on what's actually happening and what's going on, which is cool. And I like living that way.
Yeah.
So that's me. That's kind of an update of my year, pretty much, since the last time we were on here together. So, Kim, how about you?
Just living life. Things are going real well. Don't have a whole lot to give updates on. Glad to be here to shut it down as the rookie of the bunch. And that's all I got. Joe, what you got going on?
Well, right now I'm rolling my eyes for somebody who said they're rookie the bunch 2 years into this thing. Rookie might last one year.
The baby.
You can be the baby. You
I
can't
was redshirted my freshman.
You can be the baby. You can't be the rookie.
Freshman year, so this is my first one out.
All right.
Okay, I'll take it.
Anyway, so that's what's up. That's what's up. Kim doesn't want to, you know what I'm saying, put us on the game. She don't want to let us know what's going on in our world.
I'm entering my villain era for 2024. I'm gonna be the bad guy that I've definitely been made out to be all of 2023.
Did you say villain era?
Yes, yeah.
Nice.
I'm definitely going into my villain era for 2024. So I look forward to seeing what I can brew up in 2024. I got a couple of 3 things working, but nothing that can really necessarily be spoken on. But I'm happy. I'm definitely in a really good place. I think as we navigate our evening this evening, I'll get to do all the mushy shit later. So yeah, Joe, what you got going on?
I don't know how much we reported, when we stopped recording. But this was a pretty emotional year for me. There were 3 major surgeries in the family. At one point, we were saying goodbye to Dad because he was getting he had an infection in a joint, I think in his shoulder. And so we were getting it flushed out. But the doctors told us, based on the other conditions that he has, if he were to fall under, they were not going to resuscitate him.
Wow.
And so we were really worried about that. Mom, at the beginning of 2023, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so that led to a storm of consequences in the early part of the year. Some things got moved around. People were upset. Things were said in anger. She began her treatments. Eventually, she had her surgery. She's still going through some treatments, but she seems to be recovering. So I'm happy for that.
That's good.
The elder brother of Doom also went through a surgery. I don't remember what time of the year that was. That might have been after we recorded last. So he found that he had one of the conditions that we've been talking about with Dad. So Dad has this goiter that has grown this giant mass in his neck, but it's not just his neck, it's gone down to his chest. And so we're just waiting on, what's going to happen with that. And eventually, that may be his end. So we're always careful about that and concerned how that goes. So Ricky, the elder brother Doom, James, as y'all may know him, had the same diagnosis. Well, Dad knew about it 30, 40 years ago, but as black men do, we don't like to go under the knife electively, you know what I'm saying? And so he let it, just grow and get out of control. Ricky saw that and said, "No, I'm not gonna follow that path," and got it taken care of. So that was good to know.
Kudos to brother.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think he was in the hospital maybe overnight. I don't think he spent 2 nights in. Yeah. So he got that contact, and so we went to go see him the night of. Like I said, he just got surgery on his throat, but he was very talkative. You know what I'm saying? So he recovered fairly quickly, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he's good. Yeah, I mean, he was over for the holiday. Kids were up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to see him as much as I'd like to during the holidays, but I did get about a week with him. And so it was a good time. I'll see him again a little more regularly in the spring as the schedule set up. And so there's that. And then one of the things I'm looking forward to is, assuming everybody is present on March 9th, my parents will be celebrating their 50th anniversary. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'm hopeful. So, but that is by no means a certainty. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Yeah, man. So I mean, been coaching basketball. Basketball's been going pretty well. While I was gone, I went down to Dallas, saw AC for the Cotton Bowl game. Mizzou beat Ohio State. But while I was gone, my basketball team was playing in a tournament, and they ended up finishing third. And they've only lost to like maybe 3 teams this season. All 3 of them are ranked in the city. And then we beat some other teams that were ranked in the city. We are ranked in the city, you know what I'm saying? But those teams that we've lost to in much bigger schools. So in our class, we haven't lost anybody that's our size of school. So I'm hopeful that we're going to make a little run at it. Let's see what we can do. It's been exciting. And then I'm hopeful that if basketball leads the way and does some great things, maybe track can follow suit, because I'm excited about what we brought down to state last year, and see if we can't, build upon that, and maybe fingers crossed trophy. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens.
Not soon.
Yeah. So sounds like
I want to talk about one more thing really quick. You just talking about James made me think of this. So it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about as much as women. So I have fibroids, and they're like really big inside of me. And I finally got them checked out, and finally had doctors who were good at their job and able to tell me that they exist. Because I'm sure the size of them is like, one of them is like probably a small apple. Another one is like a little, like a plum. They're like huge.
Wow.
Inside me. And like I can feel them if I just touch my stomach. Like they're that big. So then it's like, why the fuck didn't other doctors for years been able to feel this? Because you've had to have felt something anyway. But I am finally getting steps to get those hopefully removed. The crazy thing is that here, the doctors that I was going to here, I'm probably going to get emotional talking about this, but the doctors that I went to here, their first remedy was a hysterectomy, which is a remedy, but there's also other steps that could be taken before internal organs are taken out. So thankfully, one of my sisters is an OBGYN, so she, as soon as I called, one of my friends, I was talking to him, and he was like, I was like getting upset right after the doctor, and he was like, did you call your sister? I was like, no, let me go do that. He was like, get off the phone now, go call your sister. And so I did. And even before I could finish saying everything that doctor said, she was like, no, you don't need that. There's remedies that can help this. Like, that would not be anything I would recommend to any of my patients. And as we were having that conversation, she was like, let me see if I can find some doctors in St. Louis, because she's in Houston, that can help you out, see if I know people who know people or something like that. And I was like, shit, my sister's looking out for me, like little sister's like the big sister in a way now. And then as that conversation went on, probably about 5-10 minutes later, she was like, what are we doing? Like, why don't I just have you come down to Houston, and you can use the people that I actually do send my patients to? In my head, I hadn't even thought about that. I don't know why I think of insurance. You have to use it like in the city where you're at.
Right.
Like, it won't transfer anything like that. But anyway, so she is taking steps now. Like, she's already had me do procedures here. So I had a ultrasound and an MRI here in St. Louis. Those are being transferred down to there in Texas to the doctor that my sister knows. And I will be heading at some point in this calendar year down to Texas to have a good doctor work on me, and somebody that I trust, because that's who my sister trusts as her medical professional. So anyway, but I wanted to bring that up because I think as Black people and as just humans in general, I don't feel like people talk about things like you said your brother was dealing with, or your dad, or anybody else, or with women. Like, fibroids are very, very common as I've been researching this, now that I know I have them. And it's like, why don't more people talk about this? Why didn't I know about this? Because I probably could have been feeling my stomach myself and felt this like many years ago. So anyway, just hopefully somebody hears that and is able to check out themselves or their friend or their daughter or anything like that, just to make sure that they're getting adequately checked for fibroids before they become super uncomfortable like the ones that I have.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, you're like the third one I've heard of recently within the last year and a half, but one was very recent who's experienced that. One of them chose to take the hysterectomy route. Yeah, man, it's not uncommon from what I get. Yeah, so
Sadly, it's not. Especially with Black women, I feel like it's more common in Black people, from what I've read as well.
That's wild. So,
Crazy.
prayers up for you. Prayers up for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Definitely keeping you in thought.
Thank you.
So, we started off the show with a little bit of audio about the Montgomery Brawl and our, everybody kind of doing their own thing. We did not get a chance to talk about one of the biggest issues of the year. I was reminded of it during Kwanzaa. I think it was Ujima? Is that collective working responsibility?
They had one for every single day. Umoja, Kujichagulia.
Connected to the fight?
Connected to the fight.
Are you serious? I did not.
Break it down.
So, like,
That's
Unity,
hilarious.
they were talking about how old boy threw the hat up.
Yeah.
And how, like, we didn't have to have any planning. Like, January 6th, they had all that back planning. We didn't have no planning. We just had a hat in the sky.
There
Boom,
it is.
unify. Hat in the sky, unify. Kujichagulia, self-determination. Baby boy jumping in, swimming.
It did, yeah.
Swimming. Eugene, you said collective work and responsibility. Nia, purpose.
Purpose.
We all know what the purpose was.
Yeah.
To unite against the common enemy.
That's right. Bring a chair if you need to.
Yeah.
Imani
forms.
was faith.
Yeah, and because we had faith that old boy was gonna get off. Because remember, he had court. They actually charged him for something.
Yeah,
remember?
they did. Did he get off?
Yeah, he got off.
Good.
Eventually. It wasn't right away. It was a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had one for all 7 principles.
That's funny.
That's great.
So yeah, I was reminded of that, and I think that was in the Black community, specifically one of the largest events of 2023. So I'm glad we got a chance to circle back to it.
Have you seen some of the art that somebody made? I was trying to see if I could find it real quick. You know those like the paintings that people make of like people dancing or just moving around? They made one of those for the scene with the dude. It had like everybody. It had the guy with the chair. It had the person like throwing the woman in the water, the man in the water swimming over.
Mm-hmm.
I want that for my house. Like, I want whoever commissioned that. Like, I need to get a copy. That would be a pretty nice piece of artwork. I was just telling somebody that this morning. I was like, I think I want this piece of art in my apartment.
Yeah, you probably get a print. You probably get a print and get it framed.
I want to.
That should be awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's beautiful to see Black folks come together, and people. I guess that the guy who got in the water was an employee on the ship, and the guy who threw the hat was also an employee on the ship who was trying to make sure they cleared the dock so they could dock the vessel. So those people were probably connected, and so that may have been, somewhat of an expected occurrence. But I think there were a lot of people who were not connected to the working, the collegial relationship they had that just kind of showed up and supported Black folks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like if I work for somebody and somebody asks me, like, there's no way I'm jumping in water to go swim somewhere for anything. You don't pay me enough. So I feel like even if that was part of his job to like make sure they got docked, he went over and above, like,
Absolutely.
what most people will do for their work.
Yeah.
And the baby could like legitimately swim, because mind you, he was swimming in full uniform, full jeans, full shoes. That stuff weighs. I've swam in clothes. I've ran in clothes in water. That's heavy.
And it mopped some people up when he got there. You know what I'm saying?
I would have struggled getting out the water because he didn't go to the little ladder part. He had to pull himself up out the water with them heavy clothes on, and then deliver 2 pizzas and biscuits. With peppers on the side.
Yeah, they got a little bit more than they bargained for when they started talking shit. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, hopefully we don't have to continue to operate in that method. Hopefully folks take that as a warning that, you know what I'm saying, you fuck around, you will indeed find out, and they don't have to, you know what I'm saying, test that option for another few decades, you know what I'm saying. Maybe that'll last for a while. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that wraps up that section. If you guys don't have anything else on it, I think it's time to, again, normally what we would do is our year-end awards. we've scaled it back this year. I think we're going to do a different method. What we're going to do is we've already pre-selected all of our winners for our categories. If you guys want to hear the vast majority of the nominees, you can go back to the mid-year review because there were only about 8 episodes after that. So we might have added a few extra things, but not much. So if you want to hear what everything was this year, the mid-year review should pretty much take care of that. We're just going to go ahead and talk about who we saw as the winners. And then we're going to take some time to just kind of listen to some other stuff and maybe recollect and close out the show. So, Kim, I guess I'm still emceeing, right? Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
I'm with it. Okay. So, first category we have is the Coonies, aka the Herman Cain 999 Award. Again, you know what we didn't do? Normally we would go back and look at who won last year, but I'm not going to stress it. You know what I'm saying? Herman Cain got the award name because he, during the pandemic, went down to Tulsa and decided he was going to go to a Trump rally without a mask in a super spreader event, and just to show that he was on board with the Trump train, and ended up dying of COVID shortly thereafter as a result. So this nigga died for the coonery. We have elected somebody to kind of fulfill that legacy. So I think, Ada, I think you had something to say about the winner here.
Yeah, so the winner of this Herman Cain Cooney Award for 2023 is a man who, at this point, really doesn't deserve any kind of introduction because he shouldn't exist in political life anymore. His name is Clarence Thomas. He's currently a Supreme Court justice. Throughout this year, last year, we heard a lot about him, despite being anti-welfare, finding out that he is like a huge welfare recipient because he's telling people that he was telling some of the senators that if we don't get a raise as Supreme Court justices, some people might start resigning. And then of course these legislators think that they need to make sure he stays in position for whatever reason, so they keep doing shit and giving him money. And his mom, I think, lives in a house that's paid for by some other dude. He's getting jet trips, and he's not. But the biggest thing is that he's not. None of this stuff would be bad if he was reporting it, but he didn't. All this stuff was found out by media and journalists because he was not reporting, because he didn't think I forgot some of the words that he used, the phrasing he used, but he didn't think it was that significant to get it. It was just a friend letting me ride their jet to vacation. Anybody's friend would let them ride their jet to go to vacation. It wasn't a big perk because I'm a Supreme Court
friend
justice.
Would buy their mother a house.
Right. So Clarence Thomas is a Cooney. And then it's also this year we're still seeing the impact of the January 6th insurrection that happened, and how his wife was in cahoots basically with a lot of that shit that was happening, and he has not recused himself from that, and we're still seeing stuff, and might see the Supreme Court talk about whether or not Trump is officially an insurrectionist, because now we're seeing some states take him off the ballot for 2024 presidential election. So I'm sure that'll come up even more this year, and that coon he's gonna keep on cooning. Yeah. So Clarence Thomas. And you can check that out and hear more about that on episode 259. And last year, I'm trying to see, is this Gary Chambers burns a Confederate flag? Is that the winner from last year?
Could be.
If our notes are correct, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled up the episode. I think.
Wait. Gary Chambers burns a Confederate flag. That wouldn't be a Cooney. No, that'd be the.
Yeah, I was wondering why that was in the Cooney section.
No, that can't be right.
Okay, I might be reading those. Or do you have the doc open, or do you have the episode open, Kim?
I just have what we have for this year,
okay.
Or excuse me, 2023 up. I don't have 2022 up.
Yeah, so that might just be a typo. But yeah.
Oh no, just kidding. Herschel Walker, whatever you say his name, is the winner, and he was a co-winner with Clarence Thomas, and yeah, I think. I think. I'm gonna have to look at this some more.
It's hard to believe. So
I do feel like I remember Herschel Walker being, because he was elected. He was not elected last year.
Oh, Herschel Walker was a huge coon. I'm surprised he had to share it with Clarence Thomas. That's how bad Clarence Thomas was acting last year. So he's been at it for ever, but it's been flaring up the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I believe this year, like I think last year it's Clarence Thomas in terms of you know what I'm saying, overturning Roe v. Wade and stuff like that. But several other things. But then I think this year they overturned affirmative action, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he definitely deserves. He's been cooling high for real. So, yeah. Anything else? All right. I think that's well deserved. So, he is our final coon.
The last of the coons.
The last of the coons. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
He's lucky he didn't get the award named after him. Anyway, moving on to the Great Debaters. So there were not.
I got beef.
What's up?
I got beef because I did the Great Debaters last year.
Okay.
And I'm about to do the Great Debaters this year. And I'm the least debating.
Did we decide? Did we? Oh, you're talking about you were involved as a debater? What was the debate last year?
Okay, so last year, just to recap, we did, we had, oh, that was a rough one. Episode 196, Toxic Masculinity, Will and Jada. I don't know if y'all remember that one. Negroes Naminan, Toxic Femininity.
So those were the winners, or all the
No. Those were the categories. But the winner last year was episode 228, Take Off the Mask. Herschel Walker's Mistress, Abortion Forced.
That was. You was kind of wild on that one.
Yeah, I was a little.
You was kind of wild on this one too.
Yeah, I was in a bad place with the whole Herschel Walker thing. That lady just got up under my skin, and I know why.
What's the bad place you was in with Michael, man? Because you was over here wilding on this one.
Oh, so for the Great Debaters, y'all, this actually was a 2-episode. It really didn't have to be 2 episodes. I mean, I tried to shut it off at the end of one of episode, and then they just kept it going for the other episode. So really, it was like an episode and a half if we're looking at it like a Gates sandwich. We were talking about the best singers of all time, okay? And me being the woman that I am, I do not limit the man, okay? I do not limit the men folk in my life, but I couldn't adhere, okay? So I was really struggling with Michael Jackson being called the 87th best singer of all time.
I think you really accepted that. I think you were at home with that. I think everybody else struggled with it being 87. You was like, meh, 87 sounds about right.
87 is fine for him being a singer.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the same hill you still dying on.
Yes. And you know what? I'm consistent. One thing about Kim gonna be consistent. Now, I said he is an 87th singer, but in the entertaining world, he is always number one.
Oh, God.
Just depends. So that was one of the episodes that I can't necessarily. I was a
go back to 238 and 239 to hear Kim on the foolishness still.
Yeah, I mean, I'm consistent with it. So episode 238 and 239, I will say that 239, was it 238? How do we release these?
So what happened was we went through, there were 200 best singers released by some agency. I don't remember who it was. Rolling Stone, somebody. I don't know who it was.
It's always Rolling Stone.
Could be. And so we started a little bit behind Mike on like maybe 90 and started working our way down and listening to music as we went. And I thought it was a real fun episode, you know what I'm saying, in terms of just kind of experiencing different musical styles and having a discussion about it. But yeah, Mike would have been on the first of the 2 episodes, the 283, because he was ranked 87th. And then we spent the whole rest of the episode figuring who Mike should have been ahead of, and we kept getting all the way down to the top 10 before we found anybody who probably should have been ahead of him. You know what I'm saying? It might have been like Aretha, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But Kim was like 87. That sounds good to me.
Singing versus entertaining, I think, was good.
Yeah.
It was good combos.
Nah, so I
I
definitely
pulled up the list from last year. So last year, 2022, the winner of the Great Debaters was the Herschel Walker's Mistress Abortion, Forced or Not, I think. Episode 228, Take Off the Mask was the name of the episode.
Take off the mask. There it is.
If you would have put on a condom, she wouldn't have to take off the mask. That's the argument. That's the argument.
Boom,
Okay.
let that go. Let that go.
My bad. It's still.
All right.
Y'all. Okay, let's move on.
So on to number 3, we got the not so great moments in white privilege. I'll let you ladies look up who won it last year, but this year we were kind of reporting live from the podcast. Kevin McCarthy was going through 15 votes to become Speaker of the House, and that shit was wild. So it had been like, I think they hadn't had multiple votes for Speaker of the House for like since the damn near Civil War. And so it was definitely a rarity. And so he finally got it. And the way he got it, which we didn't get to because we weren't recording at the time, basically ended as it should have. Because if this motherfucker made this deal with the devil to get become Speaker after 15 votes, easy come, easy go. They snatched the speakership away from him, and a new motherfucker came in, and they had about another 15 votes to get a new speaker. And this shit was just, it's one of the craziest political theaters that I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like they're still not happy, and he's still not doing things that are making people satisfied. So.
Yeah, this guy's like he's like nobody knew him. It was like Michael Johnson, I think.
Something like that. It's some basic name like that.
Yeah, a basic name from a basic dude, and he's like a pure, you know what I'm saying, Tea Party, you know what I'm saying, Republican, MAGA Republican, whatever you want to call him. And I don't know. I don't think he has much in the way of leadership ability, skills, experience. He's just in the job because somebody had to have it. And so... Because they couldn't operate the fucking house. They couldn't even do the House business without a speaker. And so they went weeks at a time this year not being able to do anything but vote for a new speaker and lose. So,
like jobs not getting filled, people not getting raises, like real shit not happening because they were not having real shit happen in Congress.
That's great. So
the winner for that last year, episode 220, Raw Cotton Pocket Squares, the corporate antebellum party.
That was a good one. When they showed up, y'all got to go back and listen to that one. That was a good one.
When it was a company, like I'll say picnic at a party at an antebellum home. And you had these people showing up as in antebellum costumes.
Okay, I remember now. That was hilarious.
And bruh came in this pickaninny outfit with a Raw Cotton Pocket Square.
And the suspenders. That was a good one.
Barefoot in the suspenders.
Yep, that was a good one.
Oh, that's just hilarious, man. We did some good things on the show. Oh no. Anyway, yeah, I definitely go back and check both of those out if you get a chance. Raw Cotton Pocket Squares and this Kevin McCarthy 15th time to charm. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we guess we are moving on. We're on to Go to Sleep. Anybody want to talk about the Go to Sleep episode?
Well, let's do it. For last year, the winner was episode 211, Kim on Government in My Guts. Was that episode. I'm sorry to bring that up again because I was the winner last year.
That's fine. And for anybody who's curious to know, the government is still the only thing that's in my guts, and I'm going to go ahead and just let that one sit. These Go to Sleep episodes, I don't understand why that one was it. I kind of forgot about that.
You know. You know. So the go to sleep category, folks, is somebody's kind of done something that's a little bit out of pocket. They probably need to go take a nap, or in some cases, niggas actually get out the podcast and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So Might be. We used to have a You Mad award, so this kind of replaced it. You know what I'm saying? And this is anyone want to talk about this year's? Was I the only one who was on it?
I was there.
Go ahead and talk about it.
So we had an episode 266 this year's happy belated anniversary episode. And we basically can call this Go to Sleep for this year, 2023, kind of episode 266 and a half, because it didn't get posted. It was not published for the public because it was just, I mean, there's been episodes of the show where things kind of get off the rails, but this was just like, I think it was even more just go to sleep, because it had been like, if you listen to episode 266, it's happy and fluffy, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're glad we've been doing this show with everybody. And then all of a sudden it was like, we never need to talk ever again, and this is it. Like, we're not even gonna possibly record in the same way again. So it just, like, I guess little things that were said by different people just led to, I think, were misinterpreted or were interpreted, or I don't know. I really am not even sure what exactly happened, but it was a lot, and people, the show, I think it was me, AC, and 10, and we were just kind of like, I don't know what's going on, like, what is happening? But okay, I guess we're all just getting off. Bye. And that was kind of that. So it was a lot of, everybody just needed to go to bed that day, though. I think everybody needed a nap and a Snickers and a hug and just a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you left my name off that list. I didn't know what was going on either. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody did.
Kim did, because Kim saw it coming and got the fuck out of there early.
Yeah, so that should be called episode discernment, because, baby, let me tell you, I was like, what did I tell y'all when I hopped up? I said, I love you, black people. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know.
I think it is, like, you're not going to hear what happened, because I tried to go in and keep, private shit private. And so I cut out a lot of the stuff that was disconcerting. And I think if you listen to it, it's a real pleasant listen. But I know what happened behind the scenes, and I don't really want to listen to it that often. You know what I'm saying? So that was the beginning of the end, basically, people. For those who don't know. I think at some point everything needs to come to an end, and I'm okay with this being the last recording if we choose it to be the last recording. I just felt like there are ways to address things, and we could have done a better job of addressing them than the way we did in that episode. And I don't know. I mean, I've been friends with a lot of people on the podcast for a very long time. Some less time than others, you know what I'm saying? But, hopefully this won't end friendships. I think that, our mantras were brothers who break bread. I think brothers fight. I think you come back to the table and you discuss the things that are going wrong. But from my standpoint, there has to be some mutual assurances that, everybody is operating in good faith. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was time for everybody to take a nap, go to sleep, so go to bed, just like you said. So anybody else got anything to say on it?
No.
How you gonna take your mute off to say nothing?
No, I said no. I don't have anything else.
I'm fucking with you. So it was a wild time. If you do go back and listen to it, I think there was some love that was definitely shown there. And I hope that's the lasting memory of everything we did here, that there was love. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. We got the Donald J. Trump Bag of Dicks Award. Anybody want to guess who got the Donald J. Trump Bag of Dicks Award?
In 2023?
Yes,
The
indeed.
namesake, perhaps?
Possibly.
Because he a dick and just all the time and puts his foot and his dick in his mouth because he can never shut the fuck up.
Never.
So he gets all the bags.
All of
the
them.
biggest, mediumest, and the smallest.
There it is. There it is. So, I mean, it's really the theme here. He lost his presidency. He's trying to get it back. Well, I think he lost the bag of dicks. He wants that back too. So he came back with a vengeance, and he's acquired them. So, kudos, Donald Trump. You have you got your bag of dicks. Anybody want to talk about some of the wild shit he did this year?
About what?
What did he do to earn it this year?
What do you do to earn it?
Yeah.
He's constantly speaking on his Truth Social, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Platform, and saying lies about people all the time, especially if there's anybody who's involved in any of the court cases that he's on, because he's got how many indictments at this point? Is it 30 something?
I've heard like hundreds, like 100.
Oh, I'm low. There's been 3 cases so far. How many cases have been happening? Are currently happening? I don't even know. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
He's got a lot of indictments. He's got a lot of. He's also had the defamation. Wasn't there a defamation one last year or this at some point that he lost, and that then he talks about that woman, and now she's suing him again.
Wait. Defamation towards who? Defamation towards who?
Is it Stormy Daniels?
Oh, yeah, I think that's come back too. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's something with one of the women that one of the women
Yeah,
came
he sure
back
did.
and said that he needed to stop talking bad about her. And then the next day after that case verdict comes out, he's on media talking again, and it's like, bruh, we suing again, and so they're suing again.
He was almost in contempt for talking wild about the judge during some of these cases.
Yeah. He's like so many things. He's got a gag orders. He's been contempt. It's like, motherfucker just can't shut up. And it's like, I feel like I'm only just now starting to finally hear polls where people are saying that his numbers are going down, but I feel like people are still going to vote for that motherfucker. And that's what's scary about this year. I'm
wondering if so one of the big issues that's happened last month in December was that the Colorado Supreme Court went ahead and substantiated a claim that he did not need to be on the ballot in Colorado. And so, I don't know if people understand, but all elections are handled by the state. So even when we're doing a national election like the president, each state decides who can be on the ballot. And so Colorado has decided to remove him from the ballot. It's gone to the Colorado Supreme Court. I'm sure he's appealing it to the United States Supreme Court, where his buddy Clarence Thomas is. So we'll see if something happens there. But as it looks right now, they may be able to take him off. And I'm wondering.
I think Maine also did. I think Colorado and Maine now.
Maine sent it to
him off.
Okay.
I believe so.
Because, to me, it sounds like a clear violation of the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment basically said it was aimed at people from the Civil War who went to the Confederacy. If you were in insurrection against the United States, you don't need to come back and hold office in our country. This sounded like an insurrection. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think there were definitely people who were thinking they were starting a civil war at that situation. And if he's highly involved with it, as I believe he was, I think it's well within the state's rights to say, hey, he doesn't deserve to be on our ballot. So if Colorado and now Maine have done that, what I'm curious of is, will that be enough to fuck up his delegates so that he can't get the nomination in the primaries? You know what I'm saying? So, be interesting to see. We shall see.
The other thing that's come up is that, what's the other thing? There's something else that's come up with his legal shit. Oh shit, I just lost it. It's gonna come back to me. It's like so many things. It's like always something.
What's it? It's everything. It's everything.
Well, a little data for us.
Dude, what's his name? Giuliani now has also been charged with like having to pay those election workers in Georgia because he talked shit about them, defamation. and now he's filing for bankruptcy because he can't pay them because it's supposed to be like, I think it's like 146 million dollars, something ridiculous. But neither of them can shut up, so they all should get some dicks.
They should. I mean, Trump probably got some extra dicks laying around. He can share some of those with Giuliani. So, you said you had some data, Kim?
Little data. So, Donald Trump faces 91 felony counts with 4 trials stated in 2024. 91 felony counts with 4 different trials.
So that's still upcoming. That's still upcoming then, right? Yeah, so,
in 2024.
So that's not even including everything that might be finished from 23, right? Yeah. Yeah, I told you I think there was over 100 counts or something. Yeah, so.
Golly.
Nah, he deserves all the dicks, bro. We only have a medium and a small bag this year. This nigga's he's a vacuum cleaner. He's sucking up all the dicks. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, anything else about the not so honorable Donald John Trump?
No.
Came back to get his award.
I guess the only thing right now is that I am not looking forward to this year. It's like, because I think the primaries, caucuses, whatever the fuck, start in, is it New Hampshire first? I can't remember where it is first.
So it's usually Iowa.
But I think they switched it this year or something.
Well, I think that the Democrats might have said they were going to start in South Carolina or something like that. But I don't think the Democrats are going to start in Iowa. But I'm not 100% sure on that because I'm just accustomed to it being Iowa, and it'd be like Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina. But
I'm just not ready for all the media and all of the like stupid people that are going to talk about stupid shit, and then the fact that we don't have, well, at least on the Democratic side, don't have like people that are going to draw people to come out and vote running. And so that's also just kind of scary and nerve-wracking. And it takes me back to, 2016 election and just the nervousness, although now it's not even nervousness, because then I was like, oh, this isn't going to possibly happen. But now it's like, this shit going to happen. And we're going to do this again in November. So anyway, I'm not very excited about that. But he can eat all the dicks now and forever.
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see. I mean, I think one of the great things about doing this podcast was keeping abreast of all the bullshit that was going on, but B, having a place to kind of talk with people about it and make sense of it. And if we couldn't make sense of it, ridicule it and laugh at it and process it. And so we'll see if we come back to you with a way to do that still, but it is what it is. Reset Asteroid.
Last year's winner was episode 214, The Case for Extinction, which was when there was a 10-year-old rape victim in Ohio that was affected by the Roe v. Wade case. Elon Musk's dad had impregnated his stepdaughter, who was 40 years his junior, and the Brazilian anesthetist had raped and drugged a woman during her C-section. All that was talked about in episode 214, so you can check that one out.
Yeah, that shit was gross as fuck. Yeah. So this year, Reset Asteroid, we didn't do an episode on this because it happened in October. But the Palestinian and Israeli conflict, I don't know if there's any winners in this situation at all. So anybody got anything to say about it?
I think it's horrible what's happening there, of course. And what's also crazy and we're seeing every day is just like the impact that it's having, even just politically and governmentally, and even like university presidents and all of this stuff. It's just what people can say and what cannot say, which I think we've talked about on here before, what people are allowed to say and not allowed to say about different people in the media or in public. We're seeing that even more now, and it's like that is also overshadowing in some ways the way that like tens of thousands of people, I think at this point, have been killed during this. All this stuff that has happened since October. I think it was October 6th. I think it was October 7th is when all this stuff started, and it's just keeps escalating, and more people are dying, and more. I think I just heard that like now there may be that there may be war because people are blockading parts of, I think, the Mediterranean, and now people are like, they might go to war. Like this might lead to a world war, and that's like what's really scary, especially because what are we fighting for? Like, what are we fighting for? Just let people live where they live, and just stop doing killing. Sorry, I can't put that into words. Just stop.
I mean, this might be the reset asteroid. This might be the shit that takes us back to the Stone Ages. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Book of Eli this morning. You know what I'm saying? This might be the shit that take us where the bomb blows up and we all, you know what I'm saying, eating skinned cats and, you know what I'm saying, trading chapstick for water. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I can't find a winner in this situation. I can't. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no good guy. There's no bad guy. I feel like I've got some Muslim students in class, and I've had conversations with them about it. And like the Palestinians, was it Hamas? Is it Hamas? Mm-hmm. Hamas definitely was violating. They went over into Israeli territory, kidnapped people, shot folks, and brought them back over on their side of the Gaza Strip behind the wall. And when we're talking about walls that separating communities within what is technically the same state. You know, that's some really wild shit. It's apartheid. Mm-hmm. So in saying that, they may feel disenfranchised and felt like the only way for them to be heard in their government is violence, which is fucked up. But it's fucked up that they did the violence. But then once the violence came, I feel like the Israelis, specifically Benjamin Netanyahu, very conservative leader, might have been doing all this shit all along to bait people into the bullshit so that he could just do what he felt he wanted to always do, and this would just give him license, you know what I'm saying, to go in and basically just take over, colonize completely the Gaza Strip, and make that Israeli, seeing settlements going forward. So,
well, I think one of the things that's scary about it is thinking about how this is. In my mind, I don't know why, but I do know why I jumped to this. But it's almost an escalation of the kind of bullshit war against terror that we did in this country against the Taliban. Which how do you fight a gang like that? And now they're trying to fight Hamas, which is a gang that has some power but is not fully powered, and everybody who's in that area is not Hamas. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, when is it going to be done? Is Hamas ever going to be finished? That's what they're trying to destroy, Hamas, and make sure they're gotten rid of off the face of the earth. How does that happen? And how do you know when that mission is accomplished?
For every Hamas member they kill, they're creating 5 more.
Right.
You're never going to be able to get
both sides. Like, it's like each side is going to keep getting more and more of these people who just want to terrorize the other. And when does that ever stop? It does not.
Well, when the bomb goes off,
when that asteroid hits, because that's what's gonna happen when there's the biggest bomb that these people gonna make.
Yeah. So I mean, I think when we talk about the reset asteroid, we're talking about bullshit that, we need to just start over society. This might be the one that actually does it. And I've always worried about that since college, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And people who older than me worried about that long before that, you know what I'm saying? So.
Have any of you guys seen the show What If on Disney Plus?
With the Marvel characters?
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it, not all of it, but yeah, parts of it.
I feel like this could be an episode on there, but this is real life. It is like, because a lot of the episodes on there, or some of them at least that I've seen so far, are about like different ways that the world is going to end, or things would be different if something was slightly different. And it's like, this is one version where the world is going to end possibly because of going back to like colonization, like in the aftermath of that for decades and decades and decades, and what happens with all of that on both sides.
And so, like, colonization is absolutely a buzzword that it makes black people angry. You know what I'm saying? But we also have to remember why the fuck the Zionists chose that land, because shit, they had been pushed out by hate and anger and, you know what I'm saying, just a maniac in Germany.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to where they had no home and they were displaced. And as I study more about this, I found out that, you know, there could have been Zionism is, and this is part of what we were talking about with the Kyrie situation that hurt some feelings on this podcast a few years ago. But like, you know, Zionism is not accepted by all the Jews. They feel as if that is supposed to be for the last days, and these people are forcing their hands to get this territory, and that's not God's will. It's these people acting on their own will. And that there could have been other locations that they could have chosen for this Israeli state other than Palestine, namely in Africa. But then, you know, you'd have been doing the same thing. You'd been colonizing there. But I don't know if there'd have been the same level of dogma that is embedded in the Holy Land. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, the Gaza Strip, from what I understand, is the place where Samson and Delilah existed, you know what I'm saying? The Philistines, all that type of stuff. So, like, folks ain't gonna give up that territory easily. They gonna fight.
None of the sides would give it up, because it's holy, special area for, like, because both of the religions kind of originate in that same area, so they would all see it as that, like, holy land in some ways. So nobody's gonna give that up. So I don't know if there is a solution other than we all just die. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, Kim, anything else on that?
We all stand to lose. It's an asteroid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, send it. So, on a happier note, best soundbite. So, we had a little video at the beginning talking about the Montgomery Brawl. I don't know if we actually got a chance to use that at all on the show, but if we had, it may have won, best soundbite. But I think what we did is we went a different direction, and we spent a lot of time in the first half of the year giggling at an alderman, a councilman up in Flint, Michigan, by the name of Eric Mays, who has a very deep voice and a very entertaining way of conducting politics. So Kim is going to turn the mute button off, because we ain't going to hear it with her mute button on.
Oh, you can't hear my mute button. My bad.
Wow, ignorant council person. I love politics. I feel bad when I beat up on folks.
As he continues to perform for the nation and make a buffoon out of the city of Flint, this is what
y'all want me to think it's a blessing to be alive. But I tell you what, I don't think we on all this ever. I got 3 or 6 of y'all in court now. No way, I'm gonna make it tough for you.
You can't make it any tougher, honey.
You was acting a big fool. I got up and keep from cussing you out. It's the doubt.
Now, I said he didn't cuss nobody out, but he did say he got up to keep from cussing somebody out. This man here.
I don't remember if he cussed anybody out, but we got like 41 minutes here of audio. We obviously not going to listen to 41 minutes of Eric Mays wilding the fuck out in city council meetings, but it was highly enjoyable. There were
gave us a lot of giggles.
Plenty of TikToks made where people kind of, you know, said, use his voice and kind of acted it out. So, I mean, I don't know. That was a theme for 2023. Checking out Eric Mays and the wild shit he was into.
Yeah, if 2023 had like a spokesman voice, it would have been him. You know how they have like Samuel Jackson, or who played Mufasa? What was his name?
I was about to say his name.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl, yes.
Point of order.
I'm gonna hit that in a meeting tomorrow. Point of order.
Oh man! So if you get a chance, check out some Eric Mays. He was hilarious this year. You know, Anybody else got anything?
I was trying to pull back up and see what won last year.
Last year was episode 217, second date, court date.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
That was a good one.
that was about a woman who she was in a Zoom court case, and she sued Buddy because he didn't take her on a second date. I guess he promised to go on a second date and then refused to take her on a second date. So she tried to sue him for not taking her on the second date.
Oh, yeah.
So, contract.
So the second date that they had was in court. It was a court date. And then in court, she was wild the fuck out. I'm trying to remember, like, the judge was highly pissed off because she tried to say that what he did was libel, or it wasn't slander. It was lying under oath. What's lying under oath called?
Perjury.
She said that he was perjuring himself, but the judge, like, he ain't even made his claim yet. He can't perjure until he's made his claim.
And she kept saying, yes, he has. He's already perjured you.
I was like, he ain't been sworn in yet. You know what I'm saying? He can't perjure himself till you swear him in. And then she was mad because he's questioning her intelligence because she doesn't know what the fuck perjury is. It was a mess and hilarious. So, man, she probably need to take a date with Eric Mays. that was. I think good brother Mays might set her straight. I don't know. We'd have to see. You know. Anyway, you guys got anything else on it? Good. Okay. We're on to the Hallmark Hall of Fame. So it looks like we have two entries. Either y'all care to expound upon one or the other? So I'll name them, and if anybody want to expound upon them. The first one was kind of related to we just said our white privilege one, where Kevin McCarthy got 15 votes to become Speaker of the House. The converse side of that is that we had our first black congressional leader. Hakeem Jeffries from New York became the House Minority Leader and received several votes to become the Speaker of the House in these wild, hearings. And if the Democrats in 2024 take the House, it could very well be for our first African American Speaker of the House. So that's a Hallmark Hall of Fame for us. And then the other thing was we had a couple of teenagers in New Orleans, I believe it was, that tried to prove the Pythagorean theorem without using trigonometry. I think it was.
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, it was. They proved the theorem in a way one early 20th century mathematician thought was impossible using trigonometry. So they used trigonometry. Now,
wait. I think was it they used trigonometry or they didn't use trigonometry? Because I think what it was is I
think it was that they didn't, because it was like something how they did it in a way that nobody had ever done successfully.
So everybody's heard the Pythagorean theorem. That's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So when you're measuring the size of triangles and that type of stuff. But anything else? Kudos to those young ladies. I'm thinking they're gonna go on to great things in their career. So, you guys got last year's?
Last year, I didn't see a Hallmark Hall of Fame on here. There was the Fresh Break Bet, that one, but I didn't see Hallmark. Oh no, there it is. Just kidding. Black Women Justice, KBJ.
Ketanji Brown Jackson become the first African American woman on the Supreme Court. Yeah. So we appreciated her. She did get into one of our great debater issues for not really chiming in on the issue of affirmative action, but we hope to see great things out of her.
Was that when she reclused herself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we were a little disappointed with that. But we understood that was probably the right thing to do, you know. But
it was kind of upsetting because other people don't do that
at all.
That should have been done it about January 6th multiple times.
Absolutely. So, one of our favorite categories is the You Ain't Shit, aka the Duck Boat Awards. I think what we're gonna do a little bit later in the episode is we're gonna spend some time just kind of going over some of our favorite moments from 2023, which is a little departure from what we normally do. And so we might take a look at two of the things that were in this category. But the winner for this year was Dumb Ways to Die. Anybody want to talk about that?
Oh boy. So in that episode, I think the initial conversation was about these people who had a lot of money, and because they had a lot of money, decided they needed to spend a lot of money with some adventures. And their adventure turned out to be that they were going to go into a submarine underwater in that submarine. And this one man took his kid, and his wife or ex-wife or somebody didn't want that little boy to go, and that little boy didn't want to go, but he ended up going because his daddy wanted him to go in this submarine with him. And so that boy begrudgingly went on this trip to be with his dad and didn't come back out. So basically they went in this submarine, and the submarine, when you're hearing me say submarine, if you don't know this story, you're probably thinking of some sophisticated device that is almost like space-like and would be in movies, and it's three-dimensional, and it just looks colorful, and it's beautiful and smooth, and you can't even see any seams on it because it's so beautiful and engineered so perfectly. They weren't in anything like that. It looked like something from like the first submarine would have looked like, and it was small, and it apparently imploded, I believe, not exploded, imploded underwater is what I believe happened. And then I think, if I remember correctly, what had happened was they were doing a search for these people for a long time, because they were like, we think their air is going to last for this and such and such many days, so we're going to keep looking for that many days. Come to find out that these people found out that these people had imploded like day one or something like that, and they had these people looking or something like that. Do you guys remember hearing something like this?
I remember like towards the end where we were kind of worried about it, that they started finding pieces of the ship. So I thought they had made it to about the end of the time period, but it could have been the first day, you know. That water pressure is a mug, you know.
Right.
So part of what made so the You Ain't Shit in the duck boat category is really where, like, that's a tragic story. Like, we should really be solemnly, you know what I'm saying, taking that in and just, you know, being prayerful and just, you know, concerned about the well-being of humanity. But that wouldn't be true to what we, you know, discovered on the show about ourselves. We discovered that we ain't really shit, because there would be a lot of issues where we would just laugh and giggle at people's pain. Because we feel like, hey, that's some stupid shit. Who the fuck does that? Who goes into a fucking, you know, fucking tube underwater with a fucking PS2 remote to help you?
Nintendo. It was a Nintendo remote.
It's all bad. All of it was bad. And trying to get down to a graveyard, which was the Titanic, and then end up finding your own graveyard down there, you know. So I don't know, it just doesn't sound like a good idea in general. So I think on that episode, we also took a look at all of the bad things that throughout the course of the 4 years we did the show were dumb ways to die, and we had theme music to go with it. And basically looked at all of the wild shit that fuckers did that just made us ask, why the fuck would you put yourself in that situation? Including the duck boat itself, you know what I'm saying? So
the OG.
The OG one, yeah. So that might go 5 years back, you know. So, yeah. Anybody else got anything on that?
That's funny, because I was like, I remember the theme song, but I didn't remember why we had the theme song come up. But when you said this, I was like, oh, all the memes we had, the chat group was we would post stuff like a tumbleweed. It was bad. It was,
it wasn't just us. Like we're bad for that. We do that shit sometimes when we ain't in a business, and sometimes it's a surprise. But like
the world,
the whole name of the whole world, it was the whole black community. It was Black Twitter.
It was.
It was black folks was just partying. It's like, why the fuck would you do that?
It didn't make no sense.
It makes no sense. So we participated in that, and so we're also culpable for that. But we're gonna take some time a little bit later on to kind of listen to a little bit of that and see how it went down. You know, what was last year's? Anybody remember?
Last year's Duck Boat You Ain't Shit Award was awful. The lady kills and burns her roommate for food stamps. Episode 225.
Yo.
Trash.
Yo. Because
they had to go back.
Because it was like a Native American woman, and niggas was talking about Indian birds and firewater. It's like,
yeah, I do remember this.
Yo.
That was a rough one. That
was bad. So anyway, go back and check that out. Let's go on to happier moments. So Fresh Break Bread, that was a Zeb lyric. Let me pause real quick to say I did see AC in December, but I also did get a chance to see Zeb. I went up to Columbia for a track clinic, and so got up with him. We had a little dinner, and so he's in good health. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that brother.
Shout out to him.
He coined the phrase "fresh break bread" in a song that I believe, I don't remember if it was one of his or one that we did collaboratively. I'd have to, spend more time on it than I want to do right now. But that's a lyric from him. And so what this category is about is maybe something that was heartwarming, stick to your ribs type content that may not fit into any other category. Somebody got something going on in the background? Yes, okay. So on this particular episode, we had a Missouri representative. Jamie Johnson came to check in and talk to us about all things political going on in Missouri, things that were going on in Mississippi at the time. There was a murder in the Northland that she didn't represent that area, but lives not too far from it, represents an area that's close to it. It was a murder. It wasn't a murder. A kid got shot going to pick up his brother by a racist white dude. He got the wrong address. The dude didn't even open the door to see what was going on. He just shot through the door and shot the kid. So luckily that kid's back in school. And from what I've heard, he's doing fine. You know what I'm saying? But it was very scary hours.
That's good. I didn't know.
Yeah. And then what else? I was going to say that she also, talking about the check-in side, she came and brought another representative from the State House into my classroom before the break. So they came and spoke to my kids about the legislative process, which was awesome. So Representative Jamie Johnson is the winner of our Fresh Baked Bread Award. Shout out to her. Anybody else got anything to add?
Right. Oh, just mad kudos. She dropped a couple of doula program.
Yes. She passed a law in Missouri in her first session about making doulas protected by law in some form or fashion. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
I can't remember all of the ins and outs of it because it's been two of them, and I'm getting ready to combine the two. So, So the one in May of 2023, I think, was the one where they're now considered to be protected, reimbursed through Medicaid.
Okay.
That's the one that came to mind immediately, but there's another one as well.
Yeah. So she was telling us in my classroom how, good ideas don't necessarily get to be represented as good ideas in the State House or in Congress. And sometimes you're going to have to get a co-sponsor, and they may take credit for your bill even though it was your idea. So she might have had to funnel this through a Republican to get it passed, but it did indeed get passed because it was a good idea. Unfortunately, the politics that we exist in won't let the minority party claim credit for good ideas. And so, she's learning the political process and is moving and shaking within it. So,
But that good idea is changing the landscape for so many people. I mean, we've discussed it at our state level on the Kansas side, making doula services are reimbursable with my particular health plan through some advocacy that I've been able to do as a doula. But, we're trying to get our other Medicaid partners to partner in, and we're able to use examples from our Missouri side to say, look at what they're doing on the Missouri side, look at how their birth rates are increasing, look at how their instances of child abuse and child neglect are decreasing because they have a support person in their through a doula. And so change makers. That's a beautiful thing.
That's cool.
yeah, that's exactly why it was Fresh Baked Bread. So it's awesome to have real connections to see how a law that you get passed is to have you as a witness to the efficacy of that law. That's awesome. So anything else? Who won it last year? Who got the fresh baked bread from last year?
Last year was episode 212. During that episode, Mama Cole's Celebration of Life. Adrian Cole's mom had passed away, and there's a segment in there just showing her some love on that. It was great.
And I don't know that we recorded, but I didn't think I'd get a chance to say it today. But I appreciate the celebration of life that you've had. Taking your dad back home to Nigeria, correct? And
yeah.
And so I think that's got to be the way I've heard you talk about it. I don't know if it's in the chat group. I don't know if it was live. I don't know if it was online or whatever. But I feel like your family's been on a spiritual journey. And I felt like that might be food for your spirit where, Papa's gone home. And I hope that you're okay with that and still blessed.
It was I think I shared with Kim, it was a lot of going to Nigeria. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be scary. Because one of the things we do, sorry, my heater's on, it's kind of loud. One of the things we do culturally is they're buried in the compound, or so either in the house somewhere, in the floor in the house, or in the yard in another kind of building, a mausoleum, I think is what you might call it. And so, like my dad's dad is buried in the house. Like you go in the living room and he's buried underneath the floor there. My grandfather on my mom's side is buried in a mausoleum in the yard where my grandmother still lives. It's like you walk over there and you see it. And so when we first rolled up in Nigeria, we saw you roll up to the house, and at first I was like already tearing up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first time I'm going to the house and he's not here. And then as soon as you roll in the driveway, you see the place where he's about to be buried. And I was like, started tearing up again. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like this all week while I'm here. But the day we were going to bury him, we took his body in the hearse to the church. And me and my brother are sitting in front of the hearse in this Jeep. And the hearse is like behind us. It was really kind of cool. And we had this band that was kind of like a New Orleans style second line band. And they're playing, and we go to the church, then we go back to the house. And on the way back to the house, all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so nervous. I'm so nervous about this. We're about to bury my dad. But all of a sudden I heard my dad's voice saying, in his voice, I heard him say, I want to go home. And then he kept saying, take me home. And then I want to go home. Just take me home. Take me home. And I just kept hearing him say that. And all of a sudden I was like, that's right. That's what we're doing. Like, he wants to go home. He planned this, like he made this house, like he bought the land, built that house, designed that house, had people build that house, knew that was where he was going to be buried. And it was like, we were just doing exactly what he wanted to do. And suddenly like peace came over me. And of course I still cry about it, but that was the last moment. Before that was the last times where I felt truly like sorrow, like loss, in that way. Not that there's not a loss still, but it was like, now it's more the celebration. And I think now I get more emotional when other people are super emotional, or when I'm thinking about like, on my birthday. I just had my birthday in December, and on my birthday, it was a great day. It was a wonderful day. I was happy all day. I was like dancing in my apartment, getting ready to go out, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, let me put some jewelry on so I look cute. And I went to grab a ring, and I was like, oh, put on that ring that makes you think of Dad, because it has his initials on it. And all of a sudden I started crying, and I was like, holy shit, I haven't thought about my dad all day on my birthday. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm a horrible person. And then I like broke down and was like crying for a long time there, crying before Christmas. But it's like not that loss anymore. It really does feel like peace. Like, it's like the warm, fresh baked bread. It just feels good thinking about him now. And I've got like a painting of him like right on the wall over here, and it's not, it doesn't feel heavy. Like, there's still the grief. AC gave me an analogy, which I still love. He was like, grief, I think it was him, or maybe it was somebody else, or maybe I shared it with AC. Anyway, the analogy talks about a button. Like, grief is like a button, and at first you're in this little bitty room, and the button's like bouncing around. I think of it like Pong or whatever. Bouncing is just hitting you all the time. And like, I feel like when he first passed away, those first few months, it was like I was just hit with grief all the time. But now it's starting to be that the room is bigger and that button's a little bit smaller. So it still bounces around, and every so often something happens, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, my dad. Like, oh yeah, it's Christmas. It's the first time where he's not here, and like, he loves Christmas, and like, my birthday or whatever it is. Or now it's like, oh, it's a new year and he's not here. But the button's a little bit smaller, so the grief hits me a little bit less. It's still there. And there's still sometimes when it hits me dead in the head and I just start crying, but it's more peace. So it's like very long-winded to say that, but yeah, more peace for
Let
sure.
it out. Let it out.
That's good.
Yeah. We just witnessed some more fresh break bread, so yeah, no, that was beautiful, Ada. Beautiful.
Indeed.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anyway, so way we wrap up these things is with the best episode, and I think what we ended up doing is we went with a three-way tie on this one.
Let me say last year's best episode first was episode 225, Don't Show Me State, FAFO, in parentheses.
Fuck around, find out. Okay, don't.
I don't remember which this was, though.
I don't remember all of it, but I think the Native American story we just talked about was part of it. And then there was a dude who exposed himself to a reporter in a story about like child pornography or something stupid, like
sexual abuse,
Sexual
or something,
abuse, yeah.
or rape.
And he happened to have on a Royals hat representing KC out in New York. So I don't know, it was all kinds of wild, you know. Yeah, so I think it was one of the shows we went off the rails a little bit, you know. This one, so we got 3 episodes. I can kind of go through them real quick and then let people speak up for one. So we got episode 238, 239 was the mic check, 1 and 2, where we had discussed Kim as a great debater, dying on a hill about Michael Jackson being the 89th, I believe, best singer ever, where clearly
87.
87. Okay, clearly that's wrong. He's 8 or 7. He's not 87. You know what I'm saying? If that, he might be lower than that. So that is what that is. We also had Happy Belated Anniversary. So that was our 4-year anniversary show. It was also my birthday. There was a lot of warm feelings going around during the episode, even though there was an undercurrent going on in the background. So I think we'll let Kim talk about that in a second. And then the last one, in the summer, just kind of, you know, took a break from the news, and we went back and did a little digging in history, and we found an episode of Donahue, may have been 2 episodes from Donahue, where he was interviewing Mr. Farrakhan, and it was real interesting to take a dive kind of sociologically into race relations in the 1980s, I want to say like the mid-1980s to 2023, and just kind of see, you know, what changed And to be honest, the more things change, the more they stayed the same. So, Kim, you wanted to go ahead and talk about one?
So I picked up episode 266, which I wasn't on. One of my favorite episodes because it just reminds me of how I came about to stumble onto the show. To be a listener, to now be a participant, the rookie of the bunch, has been different. It's just different to the interaction as a listener. I mean, I know, Joe, you listen to it, and I know how you go back and listen to it, but this is an established relationships of 10 plus years for a lot of people on the show.
25 for some of us, yeah.
Yeah. People can't go back and name people that they have been involved with for 10 plus years, and the level of support, the things that this group of people have walked themselves through together to be supportive of each other, marriages, children, divorces, putting parents in the dirt, sibling stuff. I mean, it was a beautiful thing to observe, and episode 266 just kind of reminded me of all of that. So, sometimes we lose sight of what the larger mission is, but when you have people in your life that love you and hold you accountable and will walk with you through stuff, it makes it worth it. So episode 266 and its holistic is just life and love. So that's why that's my favorite best episode.
Yeah, it's one of my least favorites, but but there was definitely some beautiful moments in it. Absolutely. Ada, which one do you want to talk about?
I think 238, 239. Mic check 1, 2. Check 1, check 2. I think for me, a lot of the episodes where we do analyzing lists, they are the bane of my existence, and I also like them a lot. Like, I hate them because I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be on here for like 4 or 5 hours as soon as we get started. The list could be like 5 things, but I know we're about to be on here for like 5-6 hours because we're going to talk about everything, and it's going to be circuitous, and then we're going to debate, and then all this stuff. But at the same time, it is great debate sometimes, or even if it's not even a debate, even if there's agreement on a topic and where somebody's placed, we uncover different things, or somebody says something new about the artist or person or whatever it is, and it's like, oh, that's so cool, I didn't know that, or oh, I forgot about that part, or oh, let's listen to that song, or do you guys remember this, or that this happened when this was happening in my life, or whatever it is. It's just great conversation. It's really cool, and I think that every time we have an episode like that, it's really great, and especially I feel like those episodes were good because I don't think anybody agreed with much of what Rolling Stone said on there, and we even felt like they did it just to get clicks. Like, there's no way that they could have possibly had that list in that order, and that was the agreement on that, I think, was big, but also the debate that happened about many of the artists, not even just the Michael Jackson stuff, but there was a lot of good debate. I feel like pretty healthy debate too. Like, there was disagreements. There was some people who changed minds. There were some people who stuck with their guns and kept disagreeing, and they agreed to disagree. And I think it was great shows, great list analysis.
Yeah, and it was a listening. It was like we were just sitting back listening to music, and I thought it was relaxing in that way. I think it was a really good listen. You know what I'm saying? So
most definitely.
So I guess that leaves me with the Proverbs 262 and 263. So I think we picked 2 major quotes from Farrakhan. So one of those was "Watch while others pray." I believe that kind of circles back to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. You know what I'm saying? Farrakhan obviously being sympathetic to the Muslim plight. So we, the experience of October, where the rockets got fired from the Palestinian side, and the Israelis hammered them with, way more sophisticated rockets. Hadn't even happened this year. It had happened probably 2 years prior to that, and then several times going before that. But this was reflecting on that back in 1984, 85 or something like that. And it just tells you how far back that experience goes. And so he felt the need to watch and keeping the eyes out. I think they asked him, if you're covered by God, if you have this, covenant with God, why do you feel the need to have bodyguards? Well, shit. I'll be out here praying, and other niggas got other ideas. I need to watch while others pray. I think it was just a real cool way to kind of reflect, and that's what I do as a historian. Reflect on where we have come from and where we are today and where we're going. And so I think it was one of the more powerful pieces. I love it when we do, a lot of our best episodes are when we're going over the news and, just kind of reflecting on what's going on currently. But I like it when we say, hey, let's do something special this week, such as a year-end, review. Like we definitely wouldn't have gotten on and recorded if this was just every other week. We chose this because it's something I think it was special to us. It's something that we love to do. And do something that's above and beyond what we normally got on every Friday night to do. So that was one where we kind of talked about it for a couple months before we did it, and then executed it, and I thought it was executed pretty well. The other episode was Come Outside and Deal With This. That wasn't a quote from that particular sitting with Farrakhan, but we used a song from Jay Electronica that sampled Farrakhan saying that. And so I just think that I don't agree, by far I don't agree with everything that Farrakhan says. But I do love the way in which he poses questions, and stirs the pot and gets the conversation going. And I think it was a good conversation then. I think it was a good conversation here, and I think that conversation is going to be poignant. If the reset asteroid doesn't hit, it's going to be a poignant conversation for decades to come. You know what I'm saying? So those were our best episodes. We made it through. Huzzah!
Indeed.
Indeed. So, ladies, y'all still down to have a listening party?
What are we listening?
So the idea was we were going to go back and look at some of the more entertaining episodes that we have done. Since we didn't do clips this year, we didn't do a lot of the pre-work that went into it. We were just going to pull straight off of Apple Podcasts and listen to some of the more standout episodes that we had. So Uber Beats was one of those episodes we were going to take a look at. We were going to take a look at the Mule Kick, which is pretty entertaining. And I think we had already mentioned, probably as our duck boat, was the Dumb Ways to Die. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all down for that, I'll go ahead and set that up.
Yep.
Good deal. Let me get going here. So, my computer is slow as shit right now. So we're gonna see if we can get this done. I've got them queued up, so hopefully it'll go pretty smoothly. And if you guys want to pause it and reflect anywhere, just let me know and I'll do what I can. Okay. All right, ball game. This is Uber Beats. The premise of this one was that there was a content creator. I can't think, these guys are all out in LA. I know he's from Detroit, but he's out in LA. And he basically took a question that was online about who would win a fight between certain fast food establishments. I think McDonald's, Popeyes, and the Waffle House were the three contestants, and I think we might have pulled in a few others. But just kind of theorize who would win a fight between the employees of those three establishments, and we came up with Uber Beats. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it ride for a while.
Fast food videos. Okay. Sorry, the hybrid videos.
Okay.
which staff would win this fight? Hey, yo, I'm gonna. First, I don't, even though we read left to right, I saw McDonald's first. I was like, okay. Then I saw Popeyes, and I was like, Popeyes hands down. And then I saw Waffle House. This ain't even gonna be a fight. McDonald's ain't got a chance. So that means it's between Waffle House and Popeyes. In this fight, Popeyes is like that black kid that goes to that suburban school that everybody think is the toughest kid because he black. Y'all remember him. He showed up to school. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm from the hood. All of that. And Waffle House is the kid that's really from the hood that came to school. And even that black kid saw him and was like, let me tell you something. McDonald's and Popeyes are places that care about their health grade. Waffle House is the only place that the grade don't matter. You see a grade in Waffle House and you're like, who did y'all buy this B- from? The dirtier, the better. Which staff would win this fight? Hey, yo, I'm gonna...
All right. Now, there was like a March Madness Sweet 16 bracket that was produced not too long ago also. Well, come on, we ain't got time for all that, dog. Arby's ain't fighting nobody, nigga. Golden Corral ain't fighting nobody, nigga.
Hell no.
What's the other ones they had on there?
This is a classic field right here.
Yeah, Subway. Yeah. They had Subway on there, nigga. Ain't nobody fighting over that fake ass tuna, nigga. Stop.
No.
Stop.
No.
So what we done is I have tried to cultivate to the best of my ability some classic fight scenes from these fine establishments. All right. They may or may not be in order.
Okay.
But hold on, to make Joe smile though. Hold on. Make Joe smile before we get into it.
Music. Rock and roll McDonald's.
That's enough, nigga. Hey, it's pretty good though. I be wanting.
Background to that. Last week, there was a video of a fight at McDonald's that featured one of my former athletes to that song, and so I didn't want to play it on the show, but I did like the song, and so the topic came back up. Let it run. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. All right, man, and like I said, man, these are not in any particular order because I do not want to, in a way, persuade the jury in any way. And it's just by circumstance, the first up is Popeyes. I love Popeyes.
Is that somebody's legs that are that way right there?
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, they about to be surrounded. So first up we got the, and I know this is an audio podcast, but always this segment here, show notes please. We have a young lady went to Popeyes. She fucked around
and found out.
Like most of all the people in these videos, they fucked around and they found out real quick. But we're gonna stand by Popeyes is I'm gonna play a video. Y'all get it. The team.
I'm gonna say this: that the Popeyes crew, they brought the fight to you.
They bring it to you.
They brought the fight. They brought it. They brought it out to the living room.
Hey, fuck Uber.
The epitome of 2-piece and a biscuit.
Hey, fuck Uber Eats, Uber Beats, nigga. We will bring the BD to you, nigga. You ain't got to worry, nigga. What, nigga? Hey, send me your location, nigga.
Nigga, they are the 2-piece and the biscuit.
Nigga, Uber. Hey, what I do, even though the fight's supposed to be what we're looking at here, I don't know if this is her man or not, but he really thought about, like, Shit, I let her get her ass beat. Let's watch him. Yeah, that's her man. Right there. Oh, damn. Should I help her out? Should I?
And they were. And let me also say there were redundancies. Like we didn't just send one motherfucker at you. We gonna send 3 of them.
Gonna send 3 of them, dog.
She pissed one off and 3 came. You know what I'm saying?
That's good cohesion.
The hive mind tactics of it, dog. Like if you were in the military, dog, this is a fucking supremely trained, efficient unit.
This must be a course they teach at Popeyes, man.
They gotta be.
It's gotta be a part of orientation.
If you fight, we fight. 101, nigga. That's what it is. That's the name of the class, nigga.
Yo. That's one of my favorite segments, not only for 2023. That's an all-timer. If we ever decide to do like the best of, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna make the cut. I think you know. May not be the best ever, but one of the best. What were you thinking?
Yeah, that was a good one. I mean, what episode was that again? Because I might have to go back and listen to that one because we clowned on Waffle House for a little while too.
241 Uber Beats.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 241. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that one. Was that the one where the McDonald's somebody came out of the McDonald's with a golf club?
I worked my second job ever was working at McDonald's. The first one I did like 2 weeks washing dishes at a restaurant. Mm-hmm. But so the first one I had for any substantial amount of time with McDonald's, and the thing I remember about McDonald's is that the floor is always slippery. You know what I'm saying? And there's there was a video that came out the week before where my former track athlete was in a fight and they were playing that song, and so they went back behind the kitchen to fight, and there's all kind of motherfuckers popping up out the woodworks, you know what I'm saying, just smacking people around, little items being, you know what I'm saying, produced that are hiding in the corners, start beating old folks. And so it was, I don't know, we just think that McDonald's basically had an advantage, a tactical advantage, because you had little catacombs behind the register. So I think we said the Popeyes people bring the fight to you. Uber Beats, they gonna come out to the dining room, or they come out to the parking lot and body slam you on your neck, or might pull you through the fucking window. But the McDonald's crew was gonna invite you behind enemy lines where they had an advantage, and like you said, play that Yu-Gi-Oh trap card. I call on you, floor grease.
Wait, because is that the one where somebody had a pipe? Like somebody
somebody had something. I don't know what it was. It was maybe it's the thing that stirs the fucking
things that don't work.
Ice cream machine that don't work, yeah, or something. But
just some long thing.
It was letting niggas have it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I don't remember if that's the only McDonald's video we watched. I think the reason why that whole conversation came up was because of the shit that went down at the Waffle House, where somebody threw a chair and the old girl just threw it away like she was Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying?
See Waffle House all day. I was there today.
So I don't remember how niggas voted. I think I voted McDonald's for brand loyalty. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember how you guys voted. But
I was Team Waffle House all day.
You was Team Waffle House. What were you on with that, Ada?
I can't remember. I feel like I might have said Waffle House because it's just hoodish all the time.
Absolutely.
But
I think
like somebody might have tried to convince me of McDonald's because that dude did have like some type of weapon that they just made out of like, I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. Going on. So I think McDonald's ultimately won that, folks. So again, just letting y'all know, these are available. Go back and check them out. We're going to move on to the next one, if I can get it to play. And this one is Mule Kick. So, if this is playing here.
After her husband's death. Now, she's charged with his murder. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, shit.
All right. So, just to set this up, my computer running a little slow, so I'm trying to get things going. This was a scenario, and we might have mentioned it earlier, but a family was having some celebration. I don't know if they closed on a business or something, I don't remember what it was, but the mother came back and gave a drink to the husband, and Kim theorized that it was probably antifreeze in there. It wasn't antifreeze, but I think it was fentanyl. And so she basically killed her husband while she hung out in her son's room, and then had the balls to a year later publish a children's book that asks where daddy is, and try and deal with the grief of the death. You know what I'm saying? So, like, super ballsy. Let's go check it out.
Corey
This
Richards.
got antifreeze written all over it.
Yeah.
I ain't read it, but just keep going.
Corey Richards' husband was found dead at the foot of their bed last March. She just closed on the house for her business. Huh?
I was saying, Miss Kim, you close.
It's fentanyl. It's fentanyl. I knew it was fentanyl.
Oh, not
She looked like fentanyl. Okay, keep going.
She looked like fentanyl. She from Independence, Missouri, nigga. No, that's meth. My bad, it's meth. I'm sorry. Her business. She told investigators at the time around 9 p.m. She brought her husband, Eric Richards, a celebratory Moscow Mule cocktail in the bedroom of their home in Kamyshutal. She left to sleep with her son in his room and returned around 3. Nigga, this doesn't sound. None of this sounds right.
Yeah, nigga, she went to go sleep in her son's room.
I'm gonna bring my spouse a drink. That's for fucking. Oh, here's a drink. I'm gonna go sleep in our kids' room. Good night, bitch. None of this sounds right.
Try to keep the death meal down.
Way wrong answer. Oh, shit.
She said
Did she go to sleep in the kids' room, or did she go to check on the kids to see
she
if they
left
sleep?
to sleep with their son in his room and returned at 3 a.m.
Oh, okay.
to find her husband lying on the floor, cold to the touch, she told authorities. About a year to the day after her husband died, Richards published a children's book, Are You With Me?, about navigating grief after the loss of a loved one.
That shit around 2 a.m. If she really gave a shit, she'd ask that at 2 a.m.
Hey. Her motherfucking organs gotta be pushed up into her shoulders because the internal testicles on this bitch are so huge, my nigga. So huge.
I told you, this is OJ, right? What if I had did it?
Are you with? That shit should have been, are you kidding me, bitch? What we talking about? My bad. I'm sorry. But I can't keep reading. But investigators now allege she killed her husband of 9 years with a lethal dose of illicit fentanyl. This month, they charged her with aggravated murder and 3 counts of a possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. Newly released court documents detail a series of illicit fentanyl purchases in this month, in the months leading up to his death. Wait a minute, a detail. My question. Hold on, she modeled on the family credit card.
Look.
Nigga, that's wild.
My question is, what took them so long to find out that she was guilty? Until the book came out?
My nigga, they got detailed a series of illicit fentanyl purchases. So she's sending Poppy Venmo?
Nigga.
Anyway.
Cash app.
Fentanyl.
Just cash app me, bitch.
6 days after the pills were delivered.
Mm-hmm. A couple weeks later, we talking about the fentanyl in the system. A couple of weeks later, Corey Richard reached out again and asked for some of the Michael Jackson stuff. That's the difference.
That's for the Michael Jackson shit.
Yeah, propofol. That's the Michael Jackson use.
Hey, we know what happened with the propofol and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bitch, you like, she's like, I want something. I want this nigga to sleep.
What's that shit Michael Jackson had on?
What? I want to send him to the ferryman. Give me the Michael Jackson juice, nigga.
I want to serve this nigga a Moscow mule with a real kick.
A real kick, nigga.
A mule kick.
Hey, I better hear about no. This nigga AC made a new drink. The mule kick, nigga.
The mule kick, nigga.
Sweeping white sororities everywhere. The mule kick, nigga.
The mule kick. Brought to you by the makers of White Claw, nigga.
Oh.
Drink this mule kick and you kick the bucket.
Kick the bucket. You tired of your husband breathing? Give this nigga a mule kick.
He's a jackass. Get it.
Your wife talking again? Give that bitch a mule kick. Oh shit. Woo. Okay.
Hot dose.
We are definitely a creative people.
We are.
We are definitely them one-liners, boy. Them one-liners. So many good ones.
I'm gonna chill on that for now. It probably was the next one. My favorite part of that, though, we talk about putting the pieces together. As we looked at the cover of the book, we looked at, there were some birds that were flying out of the background, and you'd think they'd be doves or something, like white birds flying out. They were black birds, and we called it a fucking murder of crows.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
There were signs that she was not doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Come get her. You know, I don't know. That episode had me giggling for quite some time. And I think that might be an all-timer too. So, anybody got anything else on it?
She Googled. We didn't talk about this that night. She Googled luxury prisons for the rich in America.
Oh, word.
That was one of the things that she Googled. How to permanently delete information from an iPhone remotely was another one of the topics. So, wow. Yeah. Sis was just
remotely. That's weird.
I have no idea. No idea.
Yeah, she out here doing dirt. She trying to stay away. When they pick up the phone, she trying to see if she can delete the shit before they start reading it. I don't know. It was just a really fucking foul story. And in true Brothers Breaking Bread fashion, we laughed our ass off about it, you know what I'm saying? So we ain't really shit. But, you know, they ain't shit neither. So I guess it balanced out. So I hope y'all enjoyed that part. Let me we got one more we're gonna kinda take a look at. And this is our Dumb Ways to Die. And let's push play, see what it does. Many dumb ways to die.
Oh God, the memes today were on point.
So
I couldn't get any work done today.
So just real briefly, if you haven't been breathing for the last fucking 72 hours, that's the only way you could not have known anything about this fucking can of beans that these rich ass motherfuckers decide to climb into and try to go see the fucking Titanic. Then they got lost or they couldn't find them, and now we think the fucking press the compartment, the damn cabin decompress and fucking they.
We know. Oh, we know.
My bad. Yeah, we know. So
refill.
It's been confirmed.
Yeah, like the cap off the front is floated up to the top. It's they can't sardines pop.
Oh God!
Hold on.
Do your own electrical teach yourself how to fly.
Refrigerated pie.
My bad. What were you saying?
So many dumb ways to die.
No, hold on. This is the meme that almost took me out, though. Can y'all see this? So, hold on.
Wait a minute.
What is that?
Hold on. So it's my boy, and so it says me knowing I have it. So the tweet was, stop. Me knowing I have an assigned seat in hell for laughing at this. And so someone tweeted the sub captain passing out 4 of these when it became clear it was over. It's the old Nintendo Duck Hunt Zapper. Straight to hell.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, and then the fucked up Titanic music really took me out.
It's Titanic music, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the little. Hold on. It's levels.
But that was from Titanic.
It's levels. Hold on.
Yeah, that's that little Celine Dion shit.
Yeah, you guys never seen the actual video, the entire clip where they drawing. Y'all never seen that shit?
I've heard that. I don't know if I remember the original, but we probably saw it on the show. But
I might be able to.
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but anybody got anything to say?
I feel like Dumb Ways to Die was a reoccurring theme. Like I feel like it was that episode, but I feel like it kept coming back.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Like, I think we brought it back the next episode because what we did, and I'm gonna try to fast forward to see if I can catch it, and if I miss it, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But what we tried to do was, like Ada said, we like making lists. So we made a list of all the dumb ways to die that we had covered in general. And I think what happened is we went through the list of what we could remember. And then I was like, if I said footnote, if I come up with something, we're going to bring it back. And I think it was a mid-year episode. We remembered old buddy who went to go pick up his son from his ex-wife's house.
Yep.
And started popping off the mouth and just would not let the shit ride. And old buddy came out with a rifle and shot his stepson's dad in the chest like 2 times. Nigga, that's a dumb way to die.
Yeah.
And he certainly warned him that, yo, back the fuck up or this might go down. I think it's a dumb reason to kill, too. Yeah. But he didn't get in trouble. He got off of that scot-free. So, I guess he's justified. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, I think it was a recurring theme. And I think it just basically symbolizes what duck boats were all about. The duck boat situation is niggas found a dumb way to die. And it didn't necessarily have to be die, but it usually was die. And niggas mocked it. You know what I'm saying? For better or worse. So, anybody else?
Gotta find silver lining. I mean, gotta find a silver lining in it.
Yeah. And that's really what it was about, probably. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm gonna see if we can catch a little bit of the list. Let me see where we at.
Oh my God, we named
Herman Cain?
Herman Cain.
Herman Cain. I think he's actually higher than these people because he intentionally went to where there's a fucking pandemic spreading and knew there was going to be super spreaders and was like, breathe on me. And then was like, I'm not going to get it. I support Trump. And then died.
Yeah, but they were still acting like it wasn't a real thing. I still say the slap me dude. Because he was like, yes, getting slapped is a very real thing.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I got one, bro.
Who?
What about the white dude that went on the white dude porch while he was holding the shotgun?
Yeah, I was thinking about that one too.
Yeah. That was a mayonnaise episode. That was,
We saw a murder. That was a murder.
Now he got smooth the fuck off.
He got off. He got off.
No time, nigga.
Yeah, he was not in the wrong because he was
like,
on his porch.
What you gonna do with that, nigga?
That was a dumb way to die, nigga. Hey, it's like, hey man, I'm gonna come back for him. I'm gonna call the police. We gonna get my son. It wasn't even his son. It was like his. Was it his son? Yeah.
It was his son.
It was his son, but it was the stepdad that lit his ass up.
Yeah.
Stepdad who lit him up.
The stepdad, the boyfriend, or whatever. Yeah, because he was coming to pick his son up. Yeah. For a visit.
Right.
It was a custody thing.
Did the stepdad shoot or did the dad shoot? I thought it was the stepdad.
The stepdad shot the dad. The dad came to the mother's house to get the boy. They were supposed, and the reason why, if I remember right, the reason why it kicked off because they were supposed to meet at a neutral site, but he had to come there to pick him up, and I think the boy wasn't even there. Long story short,
he wasn't.
Yeah. Nigga, that's okay. Yeah, we gotta rank them. We got 5. So. Like that's the one I thought was on the next episode. So apparently we did it on that episode. I don't remember which one. So that's episode 258. I don't remember what came back on 259. But more fuckery, just pure unadulterated fuckery. That's it. So I don't know. That's what we had to share today. You know what I'm saying? I think. I had fun. I enjoyed kind of walking down memory lane and, you know what I'm saying, kind of doing what we've been accustomed to doing on New Year's Day for the last 4 or 5 years. And I appreciate y'all ladies showing up to do it with me. AC said he was going to make it out, but apparently he had a emergency at work and didn't make it. Anybody got anything they want to kind of close out with?
No, it's always great getting to chat with you all, and I think that's I feel like in some ways since we've stopped recording regularly that I've tried to find ways and spaces where whether it's listening to more podcasts or YouTube shows where people talk like politics and debate shit, or doing that in person with other people or online with other people. But I feel like I'm trying to find that still. So it's good to do it with the original, well, not the whole crew, but like doing it in this platform again, which is nice. Not that we were debating anything, but it was still nice to get on here and remember the times when we had those debates and thinking about those shows and thinking about those topics and thinking about this year and how all this shit's going to be happening with the election. And I'm going to need to talk about it somewhere. So it's gonna happen at some point. Might have to get back on here before election time and talk about stupid shit that we've seen happening or something.
Yeah, I mean, I always felt that I clearly take a lot of what I teach in class and brought to the podcast, but a lot of what I did on the podcast I would take back to class too.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like I have a deficit there because we're not having those in-depth conversations on a weekly basis that we had and digesting what was going on in the world. I am definitely open to, reconvening and doing this. I don't know if we do it under this banner, if we choose a different topic or maybe not a different topic, but a different label. This used to be the Nicaraguan podcast, and then it became the Brothers Breaking Bread. It may be time for a new iteration. And if everybody is willing to do that and do the work, I'd definitely be down to continue this because I do miss it. I miss it a lot. So, Kim?
It's been super dope laying down history with you all. You know, I think it's absolutely crazy that years from now, people will go back and listen to this, and we will leave a small little mark on someone who is tapping into the show in some way. And, you know, like I spoke to earlier, just as, you know, we've left marks on others, you know, we've left marks on each other in positive ways. And it's been cool, this little journey that we've done together, and how we've navigated it. So it's been a blessing. It really has.
Absolutely. Well, if there's nothing else from the folks here, I'll go ahead and try to remember. It's been so long since we did it, I got to remember to wrap up. So for Lady Lavender and for Honey Buns, this is Half the Brothers of Doom imploring you, even though we have neglected to do so, but we got to do better. Never forget or miss an opportunity to break bread with your brothers and sisters. I think as we've listened to this, you know, recap of 2023, we understand how important it is to each other to continue to leave those marks on each other that Kim talked about and build bridges. And so I implore everybody to do the same, whether it's through the Brothers Breaking Bread podcast or if we come up with some other iteration. So, ladies, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. To the gentleman who didn't make it, you know, because people busy. It's a holiday, you know. Love and appreciate y'all too. Holla at your boy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we out.
Okay, so Joe sent a message talking about we don't do check-ins because we're not podcasting right now anymore. So I was just thinking that I'd love to hear how everybody's doing and with your voice, if you're able or willing or want to. I'm doing all right. Tired today because I don't sleep. I still haven't slept well since consistently since being back from Nigeria, but it's okay. School, I'm still working in the school. This is the last week before winter break for the school, and then also working with the instructional design with Microsoft, and that is actually just picked up. It's usually dead in December, but they said this is the first time they've ever seen a big project get started. So I'm going to be doing that all through the holiday time. I think I get like a day off, but at the same time going to be kicking it because it's the holidays. So I'm excited about that, excited to have some good food, happy about funeral stuff. I think I told you guys I went to Nigeria over Thanksgiving to bury my dad, so that was good, and beautiful and powerful and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's about it. Chilling over here. Jealous of all that food that AC was making for his, I think it was your dad's something. I can't remember what that was. Yeah, but hopefully get to hear from you all and hear your voices and hear how you're doing and all of that good stuff. All right, take care. Have a good, I think it's Tuesday. Have a good Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday, Sunday or Monday, whatever day you hear this message.
Okay. I tried to delete the last one, but, you know, Facebook Messenger doesn't agree with me all the time. Ada, thank you for opening up the door for the communication. I think that's super dope. Joe, thank you for planting that seed. But I think we should come together. Just, end of year, like an end of year check-in. We haven't done that as a group. Just to see how everyone's doing. Hopefully my previous message deleted so then I can share all that good stuff for the next one. But if it didn't, then you all get duplicative messages. My apologies.
Yo, so what's going on in my world? Kids are coming back on the 22nd, I believe. They'll be here for a short time. Class is about to let out this week, but I'll still probably be busy with basketball. So I'm coaching a freshman here. We got a pretty good team this year. I think has a chance to go to state. We'll see. Still in the
part-time kind of dealing with my track team as well. So I think they have a chance to be pretty successful this year too. We shall see. I don't know, folks. I enjoy having a little bit more time to myself, but I also miss podcasting. Checking in with you guys, so I think that's why, I mentioned that to Anna. Was hoping to see her at the clinic I went to last week. Didn't see her, so, I think that was the impetus for that. Talked to AC, possibly meet down in Dallas for the Cotton Bowl. Not sure yet, but that's what it is. That's what it is, good people. All right, talk to you later.
All right, so check it out. Y'all know what's going on. It's December. I work in retail, and we are in full bloom. That's kind of what's going on here. I think you guys know I kind of just celebrated Pop's 70th birthday, with him and whatnot. Doing much better up on his feet. Things are going a lot better there. Other than that, man, I'm living a good life right now, man. I can't really complain. If I did, it wouldn't matter. But, there's troubles here and there. Otherwise, doing well, man. It's Grinch season, so y'all know what it is. No matter what's going on good, it's Grinch season. Straight like that. Love y'all.
Break bread with your brothers whenever possible.